February 10th, 9:39 AM. Discord code, defendant lobby number 1. And with that, I say hello everyone, and welcome back to Ace Attorney Pheonix Wright Trials and Tribulation. As the case is steadily going towards an end, and I am not sure if I am ready. I am really not sure if I am ready. For 1, for the game to end, and for 2, or for this case to end. Good morning. Oh, are you by yourself? Morning, Pearly. Mr. Nick, please tell me, what's going to happen to Mystic Maya? I'm sorry. We don't know yet. The investigation is still going on, so I wasn't allowed into the inner temple. Oh, I see. So is this the Iris still trying to remove those tricks logs from the training hall? No, she's the defendant in this case. She can't be at the inner temple. She's required to be here in court. Then how come she's not here in the defendant lobby? I have to admit, it's kind of strange. If you're looking for Iris, then just in the prosecutor's lobby. Oh, Edward? What is Iris doing over there? She's going over today's testimony with the prosecutor as we speak. Today's testimony? You heard me. Iris is going to be testifying as a witness for the prosecution. Wait, what? The prosecutor is squeezing her for a confession. Also, I've heard. Francesca van Karma, what are you up to? Isn't it Godot? I know what you're thinking, but Francesca isn't going to be the prosecutor today. Yeah, it's Godot, of course. What? Then who is? Who else would it be but Godot? Oh no, Godot. Francesca is engaged in some important work at the Sacred Cavern. The Sacred Cavern? You don't mean that she's... Exactly. She has been out there all night trying to remove those trick locks. With the head non's assistance, of course. We estimate that the last of the locks should be taken care of in about 3 hours. I hope everything continues to go smoothly and we receive some good news. Yeah, thanks, Edgewolf. Prosecutor Godot intends to nail this case shut today. Be prepared to fight like there is no tomorrow. You don't have to tell me that. Touché. I can already see it in your eyes. You're not the same fever-ridden, frantic maniac you were yesterday. It's strange. On the way here, I decided that today would be the end of all this. Almost immediately after I made that decision, I felt myself getting stronger. Interesting. Maybe you've passed your calling to someone else. Literally. And with that, I'll leave the rest in your capable hands, partner. Thanks. Oh, I feel the dread coming in. I still don't have answers for most of the riddles plaguing this case. The circumstances around the murder of Miss Elise Donim. No, I mean Miss Misty Faye. The impossible flight Larry claims to have seen. And with what that woman is really after. Yeah, Morgan, why are you doing all this? I will solve them all and bring this whole tragedy to an end. This is heavy on my heart. February 10th, 10 AM, District Courtroom, courtroom number 7. Well, the judge is back. Well, no court is now in session for the trial of Iris at Fazakura Temple. Your Honor, what are you... Who? Me? Oh, well, my little brother came to visit me in my chamber earlier this morning. All of a sudden, in the blink of an eye, he developed a scorching fever and fainted. Therefore, I'll be standing in for him. I see, Your Honor. So they're brothers. That explains a lot. Why does the other one have a German accent? My poor brother. He looked a bit pale. Not to mention sad that he couldn't be here. It is impossible to predict what the future has in store for any of us. This is precisely why people feel the need to judge the past. And we of the court have been charged with the solemn duty of passing such judgment. Well said, Mr. Godot. I understood exactly what you said, at least up until the end anyway. Now then, Mr. Godot, please proceed with your opening statement. Humans are fragile, fickle beings. Our hearts change with the shifting of the tides. There is only one thing that remains a constant in this crazy world. The bitter darkness that lies at the bottom of this mug. Oh, so then you mean, oh, forget it. What do you mean? During yesterday's trial, the accused refused to admit her role in the crime. But today she has a change of heart. Sister Iris of Hazakura Temple has a confession to make. A confession? Oh, the defendant? Iris, why didn't you discuss this with me first? Very well then. This court will now hear the defendant's confession. Upon meeting a beautiful lady, I always ask for a name and profession. That is one of my rules. My name is Iris. I am but a simple nun undergoing training at the Hazakura Temple. Well, is there something that you wish to confess? Yes, but first, I want to apologize to Mr. Wright. I can't continue lying to everyone anymore. It's alright. What is it? Mr. Wright, I have to admit that I did play a part in this terrible incident. Are you actually confessing? Are you saying that you were the one who murdered Miss Elise Donim? No, I'm not, Your Honor. But I dealt with the cover-up after the murder took place. After the spirit left, I took the lifeless shell of Mystic Elise and carried it to the Hazakura Temple courtyard where I discarded it. What? So that's how it got there. Order in the court, order! Witness, are you saying you were an accomplice to the murder? Yes, that is correct. What? Well, that's the only thing she can say. 3 more nights in court and I'm already covered in the cold sweat. Oh wait, I can make it like this. Oh, my mic. So useful. It was a bit on front of my head, so I pushed it a bit on the side and turned it more towards me again. Everyone on the planet is an accomplice to something. It just happens to be that in this case, it is to murder. Isn't that right, Mr. Trite? D'accordo. So these are the confessions they were referring. Oh, sorry about that. Conferring about. It pains me to say this, but it looks like Iris' testimony was all a lie. Iris' testimony crumbled and shoved into a pocket. Hey, why did you do that? Now then, little lady, if you don't mind, I've got a question for you. Whose crime were you trying to cover up by your actions? If you're gonna say Maya, I'm gonna flip. I was covering for someone? Oh gosh, now I'm definitely up the creek without a paddle or a life jacket. I've been at Hazakura Temple ever since I was a little girl. Hazakura Temple is run by one of the branch families of the Korean tradition. One of our missions is to protect the main family. I'm sorry, but main family? Yes, and that's why I would dirty myself, if need be, to protect her. The daughter of the master of the Korean channeling technique, Mystic Maya Fey. You think I'll allow that? Because that is one of the masters of the Korean channeling techniques. Eh? They're trying to put Maya as a scapegoat. Wake up and smell the coffee. Right. She's naming Maya? That's no good. Order in the court. So not only did you witness the murder, you know the name of the murderer? I'm terribly sorry, but it's true. I saw her commit the murder with my own 2 eyes. And then I cleaned up the area to try to protect her. That's ridiculous. Maya could never do such a thing. The defendant will refrain from commenting at the appropriate time. Now, witness, let's see your testimony. What exactly happened on the night of the crime? Yes, Your Honor. I thought I was prepared for the unexpected, but I never imagined the case would wind up going in this direction. I kind of have a feeling that would happen. Like, the way that they were kind of saying like, oh, Maya's like stuck in the thingy. Oh, we gotta find Maya. And then it's like, oh, but Maya could have done something. And it's like, wait a second, what are you trying to imply here? The real murderer. I went to the inner temple that night and saw it all happen in the garden. I saw Mystic Elise strike Mystic Maya with her staff. While Mystic Maya was still stumbling, Mystic Elise moved in to deliver a fatal strike. Mystic Maya tried desperately to defend herself and stole the weapon. It was only in self-defense, you can't blame her for it. What weapon? Oh, so it was in self-defense. Yes, Mystic Elise was the one who attacked first. That's why I tried my best to protect Mystic Maya. You moved the victim's body to the temple so that Maya wouldn't be suspected. Isn't that right? Not bad. You've got the instincts of a true criminal. Something's not quite right. I'm sure it was established yesterday that Iris never went to the inner temple that night. And that the person who did go was that woman. Iris even admitted it. Yeah. Now then, Mr. Wright, please proceed with your cross-examination. The real murderer. Well then, let's see. I am low on health, but that's fine, because I got infinite health. Because I am a cheater. Well, let's go one by one then. Sister Iris, your testimony has changed quite a bit since yesterday, hasn't it? You said it yesterday that on the night of the murder, you didn't go to the inner temple. Did she know? Too bad for you, what she said yesterday doesn't mean much today. By the way, where were you when you claimed that you didn't go? I was in the inner temple's training hall. It was in the inner temple's training hall. A private conversation between the two of you does not constitute testimony. That would be properly described as hearsay. What do you have to say, witness? I just couldn't tell him the truth at that time. Mystic Maya, she's your girlfriend, isn't she? What? I didn't want to be the one to break it to you that I saw her commit murder. Mate, he's seen his real girlfriend commit murder once already before. That was like a whole case in of itself. There, we understand how difficult it is for you. Now then, let's continue with the testimony. What did you witness in the temple garden? Well, Your Honor, I saw Mystic Elise strike Mystic Maya with her staff. You're saying that the victim attacked Maya? I mean Miss Faye? Yes, it was a truly frightening scene. Mystic Maya was struck hard on the head and looked like she was going to collapse. What were you doing at the time? Why didn't you stop them from fighting? I'm terribly sorry, Mr. Wright. I was frightened. I couldn't move. I couldn't even speak. I was in such shock. That's perfectly understandable, my dear. This doesn't sound right. I don't believe this testimony for a minute. Well, it's wrong from left to like every single thing is kind of wrong. What happened after that? While Mystic Maya was stumbling, Mystic Elise moved in to deliver the final strike. She moved in to deliver the final strike. Yes, I'm sure of it. She threw down her staff and reached into her robe for a weapon. Wait a minute. What was it, this weapon? It was some kind of dagger. A dagger, And Miss Elise Donim tried to stab her with this weapon? To kill Miss Faye? Yes, exactly. You look like I did after I mistakenly took a swig of Worcestershire sauce. Worcestershire sauce. Do you have a problem with the testimony we're hearing from your client, lawyer boy? Yes, it is wrong in every way. There is a problem. Your Honor, I have a small problem with the witness testimony. You do? But this witness is your own client. Yes, well, nevertheless. That is fine. Witness, let's add your last statement to the testimony. Yes, sir. Hey, just a moment. It was my job to say that. Listen, Gramps, I will not say it again. Final judgment will be rendered by me. Oh! Can I have at least some coffee? Okay, now, let us continue. She threw her staff away and pulled a dagger from her inside her robe. Okay. That's the one they want me to, like, hidden. And then? Mystic Maya, she turned things around and then she used the weapon she had taken and lunged forward for a strike. Wait, no, are you absolutely certain? Yes, but believe me, she had no choice. If Mystic Maya hadn't done something, Maya Faye's name would have been written on this autopsy report instead. I see. This is bad. I still can't put the pieces together. I don't have this to say. It was only in self-defense. You can't blame her for it. It is weird how, like, it's wrong in every way, but it's fun and interesting. So you're saying Maya Faye was the one who stabbed Miss Elise Dunim? Sister Iris, is that really what you saw? Yes. Tis, right. If your mug is filled with black and bitter suspicions, the only way to get rid of them is to drink them down quick. Like this. I know that's supposed to be a metaphor, but I don't get it. There is only one thing you need to get right. It is called evidence. Now hurry up, before my next cup gets cold. What does that mean? Is God waiting for me to point out the contradictions? I like to avoid the whole spirit channeling thing if I can. Not only would it be admissible as evidence, but I think it might actually hurt us standing with the judge. First I need to pick her testimony apart and expose the unnatural sounding parts. I don't know why Iris would tell a story like this, but there are two things I noticed that just don't add up. Like, it'd be funny to just be like, do you know Miss Elise Dunim's real name? It's like, real name? That isn't it. Nope, her real name is Misty Faye. Maya's mother. It's like, what? Are you serious? It's like, yes, I am very serious. The one who knew? She's the bikini. Is this the staff? Sister Iris, there is something strange about your version of events. Mr. Nim throwing a staff away makes no sense at all to me. But all you can do with the staff is hit someone. Not this staff. Naturally you wouldn't know this, Sister Iris, but the victim's staff had a special feature about it. I even brought it over here. As you can see, it's a sword. If Elise Dunim really had wanted to kill Maya Faye, she wouldn't have needed to use a separate dagger. Not when she already had a beautiful blade in her hands already. Well, Sister Iris, what do you have to say? That was an impressive bit of investigation, right? I never would have thought that there was a sword hidden in that stuff. But even so, how should I put this? A longsword is unwieldy and thus quite ineffective in close quarter combat. Maybe that's why she shows a dagger over her blade. Anyway, the type of weapon she chose to use isn't what is important. What is important is that she tried to kill Maya Faye. As long as there is nothing strange about that, there is no problem with the testimony. But there is something strange about all that. Why must I write the prosecution as a point? Very well then, Your Honor. The defense will now present evidence to back its argument. Mr. Wright? I have here another piece of evidence that shows that this testimony can't be trusted. Oh. They have to, because Miss Elise Dunim would never attempt to take the life of Maya Faye. Elise Dunim would never have attacked Maya Faye. How can you be so sure? Because the victim's real name was not Elise Dunim. Her real name was Misty Faye. Faye? Huh? No, not Mystic Misty Faye. Who is this Misty Faye? Are you sure related to? Misty Faye is the master of the Korean channeling technique, and she is also the mother of Maya Faye. Are you serious? Is it really true, Mr. Wright? Was Elise Dunim actually the great mystic Misty? Yep, there is no doubt about it. Looks like Iris had no idea. I can hardly believe it. The idea that she would try to kill her only daughter, one she hasn't seen in 17 years. Perhaps the prosecution can offer some explanations why she would do such a thing. I like that we don't have to, prove that that was her name. They're just like, oh, wait, we accept it. Okay. Order in the court. Upon first hearing the witness testimony, it seems natural enough. However, in light of some facts that have just been presented, One, that the victim supposedly threw away a sword during a fight, and two, that the two people battling to the death were mother and daughter. Despite the facts being unbelievably when taken on their own, when taken together, the entire story seems difficult to believe. Listen, there is nothing in this world that is impossible, except for one little thing. Oh yes? What is this one little impossible thing? You still do not get it. You think maybe my beams are under-roasted. My beans, not beams. But you have no idea, Gramps. Could you get to your point, please? I heard this witness confession this morning, just as I had taken the first sip of my 8th cup of morning coffee. You're going to ruin your health, my friend. Anyway, after hearing the woman's confession, I had a detective who loves to investigate sent to the scene of the crime. And he discovered this little beauty. Oh, is that the dagger the witness testified to seeing? Yeah, obviously, Your Honor. Oh, but do you notice something else? Oh, now that you mention it, there's some blood on it. So that is the murder weapon. Where did you find that? I didn't see that when I investigated the crime scene. Also, why are we investigating the crime scene with a lawyer, not the investigation team? Did you investigate the pine tree at the crime scene? Huh? The pine tree? The dagger was stuck in the back side of the back pine tree when the last blow was struck, ending the violent battle between the two women. This little bit was thrown in the direction of the back of the pine tree. Which means the blood on the dagger belongs to the victim, correct? Were you even listening, old man? I first heard this confession this morning, just as I had taken the first sip of my 13th cup of morning coffee. Didn't you say it was your 8th one? I didn't have enough time to get the blood analyzed in such a short notice. Well, in any case, the court will accept this dagger as evidence. Furthermore, I ordered that a blood test be performed on it immediately. This is my sweetheart. Make sure you treat her right. Bailiff, get this piece of evidence in the crime lab for testing immediately. Okay, thank you. Now then, the testimony we've just heard had numerous unbelievable aspects to it. However, after having found the very dagger the witness spoke of, I believe we can consider her testimony to be credible at least. Cute girls never lie. Ever. Well, you should meet Dahlia. who may still be alive, because Pearly could not channel her. Well, in any case, witness, if you could please testify again in this court. About that, Your Honor. About the incident you saw. The battle between the two women. Yes, Your Honor. Mystic Maya stumbled briefly after being hit over the head with the staff. But then she dodged Mystic Elise next to Tev and stole her weapon. Suddenly, Mystic Elise was the one on the defensive, with her back to the stone lantern. Oh gosh, that much red. That's when Mystic Maya stabbed Mystic Elise. Mystic Elise managed to fling the knife away, but then she collapsed. Is that when she like wrote the Maya on the what is it called? Not the statue. It's not a temple either. Like the monument or something like that. That was a very heartbreaking story. I don't know if there were any bad feelings between them, but it had been 17 years since Mystic Misty's disappearance. Perhaps the siblings didn't recognize each other anymore. That seems reasonable. No, it doesn't. Maya is literally wearing the Crane outfit. Misty would have noticed. Now then, Mr. Wright, proceed with your cross-examination. How am I gonna... I think I need to, like, open up again. Right? Like, it has to be. Iris, where were you standing when you witnessed all of this? What do you mean? Well, if either of them had noticed you, they might not have continued their battle. I wonder if that's true. The two of them, they were standing near the garden stone lantern it was. I was watching the whole thing from behind. It was dark where the two of them were, so I think that's why they didn't see me. So it was dark in the garden when the murder took place. Tell me, what did Miss Maya Fey do after she was struck? But then she dodged Mystic Elise's next attack and stole her weapon. Oh wait, I forgot to hold it. What happened to the victim's staff then? I'm not sure. The area was very dark, so I really couldn't see. I think it got knocked away somewhere as the fight escalated. That makes sense. No, it doesn't. It was in the courtyard afterwards. That would explain the need for the dagger. Mystic Elise raised the dagger to strike, but Mystic Maya dodged it at the last second. The dagger struck the lantern and fell to the ground. And then at some point, Mystic Maya picked it up. Nothing sounds especially strange yet. What did the victim do when the weapon was stolen? Suddenly, Mystic Elise was the one on the defensive, but with her back to the stone lantern. You think that Maya Fey turned the tables on the victim? Yes. But Mystic Maya wasn't herself at the time. After all, her life was in danger. I can't believe that. The idea of Maya cornering someone in knife point, it is silly. It is extremely silly. As they say, a cornered fox is more dangerous than a jackal. Hey, I believe the correct description of a cornered fox is scared and petrified. Your animal analogies have grown tiresome. You would want to start it! Anyway, so after Maya Fey backed the victim into the stone lantern, what happened next? That's when Mystic Maya stabbed Mystic Elise. Are you absolutely certain that's what you saw? Yes, I'm almost certain. Almost? The garden was dark. I couldn't really tell who was who. What did you say? So in other words, it could have been someone else entirely. We know that Maya Fey was in a temple that night, and that the woman that was killed was Elise Donim. Isn't it fairly obvious who attacked who? I don't have anything to counter that yet. Now then, witness, please continue with your testimony. Yes, Your Honor. The two of them faced each other for a moment. Then Mystic Maya rushed straight into Mystic Elise. Then Mystic Elise doubled over and fell to the ground. So you were stabbed in the stomach, huh? Yes. Was it the stomach? I don't remember. Hey, wait, stab in the back. Where did that dagger go? I have no idea. It was dark and couldn't see. According to the detective who found the dagger, it was stuck behind the pine tree on the garden. It most likely was flung towards the tree. It started yawning somewhat, I don't know why. There is a most likely explanation, yes. Being stabbed in the stomach, did the victim collapse right away? Now that I think of it, she seemed to stare at Mystic Maya for a while, and Mystic Maya stood there, not moving an inch. It felt for a moment like time had just stopped. But then, suddenly, as if the spell had worn off, Mystic Elise fell over. It seems like a reasonable story at first, but it's one thing that is completely impossible. The very idea of Maya stabbing someone. That alone is impossible. Which means, this faulty testimony must contain another contradiction. Something about you just isn't right today, Iris. Huh? Until now, I didn't think you were the type to make up such a careless mistake. However, the testimony you just gave contains quite a few contradictions. What do you mean? What's so wrong about my testimony? According to you, Maya Fey stabbed the victim while she had her back to the stone lantern, correct? Yes, that is right. But in that case, the victim would have been stabbed in the stomach, correct? Yes, I think so. But according to the autopsy report, the cause of death was due to blood loss from a stab wound in the back. Oh. This proves that the victim was stabbed from behind, not from the front. Sister Iris, it appears another seed of doubt has sprouted from your testimony. Well, what is the meaning of this, Mr. Wright? It is simple. People are like books, we're all a front and a back. You get my drift? No, I don't. Is that all you have to say? I can also say that the darkness loves to play with the human mind. Could you please knock it off with the cheesy proverbs and illogical metaphors already? The point is, too much of this testimony just doesn't make sense. Throwing away useful stuff, the people fighting being mother and daughter. And now she falsely claims the victim was stabbed in the stomach. There certainly are some inconsistencies. Well, Iris, how about it? Well, it's just... If you're asking me, you're just being too naive about the whole thing. What did you mean? There are 253 distinct types of bitterness in coffee. Why are you bringing a coffee in this? But to pick up each one of them requires subtle concentration and the use of all of the senses. Were you really concentrating on what this witness actually said? Prosecutor Gojo, please explain yourself. The witness was quite unambiguous about her own ambiguities when she said that the garden was dark and she couldn't see clearly. So, the human needs one thing to see clearly, and that is light. Light, yeah. By the way, did you know Hazakura has a rule that on light, when the Neko light is in the temple training, the stone lantern in the garden must be kept lit. I did wonder what that stone lantern was there for. Well, if that's true, shouldn't the witness have been able to see the crime more clearly? Normally, yes, Your Honor, but according to the head nun, Sister Bikini, on the night of the crime, it was impossible to light that stone lantern because of the storm. Well, it hasn't been used in a long time, and the wick was no good. In other words, it had to be nearly pitch black in the garden that night. It couldn't have been. There was like a fire, like right 10 meters away from it. There could have been a faint light coming from the training hall, but that's all. More enlightening. Yes, that illuminating fact has chased all the contradictions away. If the staff was dropped, it would be difficult to see. It also explains why they don't recognize each other. We can't see the demons that lurk in the night. That's why humans are weak. Isn't that right, Trite? Technically, it didn't prove anything. Order. Here, Your Honor. Let me present the stone lantern into evidence. Maybe it will rekindle the flame of truth in your mind. Why is the judge just sitting there with that look on his face? What is wrong, Your Honor? Was the flame too hot? This lantern. There's something written on it. Why? It's written in blood. Oh boy. So just didn't know about that yet. Written in blood. It says Maya upside down. What the? Oh yes, that's right. After being cornered and stabbed by Maya, Missy Elise didn't fall down right away. She must have been writing that on the stone lantern behind her, with the blood that was draining out of her body. It certainly looks that way. Hang on a minute. What are you all talking about? What do you mean, what are we all talking about? We're talking about the message written in blood. Oh, nonsense. This lantern is as clean as a whistle. Could it be? It can't see the bloody writing at all? Now that I think of it, it did say something to me yesterday. My eyesight is pretty messed up. Even with these huge goggles on my head, I still cannot see everything. So that's what they meant by that. Well, in any case, it's obviously an important clue. We now know that the crime scene was dark, and that the victim scrambled this message on the stone lantern. Well, Mr. Godot, anything further? Mr. Godot? Okay then. Let us move on. Godot is literally shaking, and somehow I don't think it's from caffeine overdose. I don't think that could happen to that guy. I believe it has not been established that the Mr. Neem was killed by Maya Fey. Wait, whoa, that's wrong. Now it is time to turn our attention to you. Yes, sir. After the victim died, you did something, didn't you? Let us hear it. We're all ears. Sister Iris's cover-up, okay. After Mystic Elise died, I called out to Mystic... Oh yeah, I gotta check something really quickly. Yeah, no. I called out to Mystic Maya. I thought it was my duty to protect the future master of the Korean tradition, so I left the old master of the Korean technique on the ground. So I moved the body from the inner temple by myself. I dragged it behind me all the way across Dusky Bridge. Then I used the snowmobile to carry it back. The bridge was on fire! Hazakura Temple and... I used the Shishishito to alter the way the wound looked. Oh, so you moved the body? Yes, I was raised at the Hazakura Temple. I owe a great deal of thanks to the Fake Clan, but even so, I never imagined that Elise the Limb was actually Misty Fae. I've committed a terrible crime. A terrible streak of fate. I believe you're looking for a twist of fate, Your Honor. I'll let him say trick of fate. I intended to return to the inner temple after taking care of the body, but... You were spotted by the head nun, correct? Yes, and that's why I couldn't go back. Your story makes sense, I suppose. Mr. Wright, go ahead with your cross-examination. Okay. Thank you, Your Honor. I will do just that. I feel like sometimes I say, like, it's been going quite smoothly so far, and then I mess it all up. So I'm not gonna say that. I will just continue onwards. So you wait until everything was over before making a move? No, it's not like that. She saw someone murdered right in front of her eyes. It's not surprising that she was a little bit timid. Oh yes, I suppose that's true. Sometimes when I'm watching lawyers argue back and forth with each other, I feel so helpless that I just sit quietly and wait for them to reach a conclusion. I love the judge. Isn't it your job to judge, to mediate the argument? It wasn't until Mystic Maya saw me that it finally dawned on me what she had done. I thought it was my duty to protect. So then you knew? You knew the significance of the name Maya Fae? Yes, of course I did. That's odd. Because Bikini didn't know. Yes, the Bikini didn't recognize Maya's name, let alone her position. Anyway, she was a very special person indeed. So I removed the body from the inner temple by myself. Why did you do that? Because I didn't want Mystic Maya to be suspected in any way. I thought the best thing would be to remove the body from the crime scene. You moved her body all by yourself? Yes, I did. It would have been impossible if it wasn't for the snow. The snow, huh? I dragged it behind me all the way across Dusky Bridge. I'm gonna show the fire painting afterwards. Pretty amazing you could make it all the way across. That's a rickety old bridge. It looks worse than it is. It's surprisingly sturdy despite its age. It's like they say, idiots are too stupid to catch even a simple cold. But there's one other thing that bothers me. Why not just throw the body into the Eagle River? Oh? It would have been much easier than dragging it all the way to Hazakura Temple. I thought it would still cast too much suspicion on Mystic Maya. That's why I tried to take the body as far away as possible. Makes perfect sense to me, for the time being. Anyway, what did you do after you crossed the bridge? I used the snowmobile to carry it to Hazakura Temple. The snowmobile? I knew that would show up sooner or later. Yes, I had the key. I used the snowmobile to travel from Hazakura Temple to Dusky Bridge. This is the part that was in the question the other day. Should I ask for more details? Sure, let's ask for more details. Let me hear about the snowmobile trip. It was very cold that night. I rode it all the way to the foot of the bridge. I am sorry, witness, but now I've got a problem with your testimony. Excuse me? Hello? What are you up to now? That night, after the head nun left the remainder of the training to you, she said you walked from the inner temple back to Hazakura Temple. Yeah, I'm very sure that's what the records indicated. Let's recall a comment on the subject. Maybe, but when I made it back to Hazakura Temple, it was there by the main gate. The snowmobile, I mean. The snowmobile was in front of the main gate. There is one of those contradictions, wouldn't you say? Ah. Order, Mr. Godot. Why are you pointing out the contradictions in the witness testimony? Let us just say that I like things to be neat and tidy, okay? Well, maybe Sister Beginning missed it? Yeah, maybe she didn't see it. You think she missed it? Doesn't sound right. Whatever. I do not think this is decisive enough to warrant any more time or effort. It is just you better be careful in your testimony. That is all I wanted to say. A smart little cookie like you shouldn't have any trouble understanding that. Yes, sir. What was that all about? Why would Godot want to give me a hint? Very well, then let's continue with the testimony. That's what I thought anyway, and then okay. I was gonna say, like... What about the other one? Blah, 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 blah. About the tracks. If you already did move her body by snowmobile, then there should have been tracks left in the snow, right? Why, yes, naturally, you would expect tracks. This picture was presented at yesterday's trial. Are those the tracks from that ride? Yes, I think they are. But I cannot see one set of tracks here. I don't see what's so strange about that. Snow was still falling when I left Hazakura Temple. I see, snow was still falling, huh? And then when the murder took place, it had already stopped. That's why there are some fresh-looking tracks. How about it, Mr. Wright? What do you think about this testimony? Oh, it's important. When the murder took place, the snow had already stopped. That doesn't make sense if you stack it up against the other evidence. Your Honor, I'd like the statement Iris just made added to the testimony. Oh, but does it have something to do with the case? All will be made clear if you allow her statement to be added. This should be fun. Let's get this snow business cleared up, shall we? Yes, sir. By the time the murder took place, the snow had already stopped. Took approximately 10:50, 10 to 11. Whoa, what happened? I don't want to believe it, but I don't think my logic is failing me. Iris is trying to pin the murder on Maya. But why would you want to do that? There's only one reason I can think of. Morgan. To protect the future mass of Karain tradition. Pearly. But yeah, I was gonna go over here and be like, oh wait, come on. Come on. The bridge was on fire. Okay, that doesn't count. Okay. So it is the one with the bridge. Yeah, the lightning struck the thingy. What the? Come on. It's not that one? So it's not that one? I'm sure it is one of those three. What could it have been then? No. I was gonna say like, oh, but the snow had stopped. Wait, no, it didn't. Oh, it did. What could it be? Also, I find it funny. I just mentioned it before, like, it's been going well. And I'm struggling. No. How? There have been a lot of contradictions in your testimony so far. This time, are you sure it's all true? Yes, I am. When the murder happened, the snow had already stopped. According to you, that's why the snowmobile tracks were so clear. That's right. I'm certain of it. I think they've trapped her this time. I see how you think, eh? Snow. What is going on here? If the snow really had stopped by the time of the murder, it would mean there would be a bigger hole in the story than that movie The Grit Revelations. Well then, Mr. Wright, perhaps you would like to share your theory with us. Let's see what is up your sleeve, or rather at the end of your index finger. Okay, that's the end of the thingy. Okay. That's where I needed to put it. Okay. You claim that the snow had already stopped when the murder occurred, but I'm sorry, Iris. That just isn't possible. What? This is the weather data from the night of the murder. According to this, the snow didn't stop until 10:50. But you couldn't have crossed Dusky Bridge at that time. Why do you say that? Because 5 minutes before the snow stopped, Dusky Bridge was struck by lightning and had caught on fire. What did you just... How do you not know? The bridge, it was on fire? You don't mean to say you didn't know about it? Was it because of that lightning strike that the bridge burned down? What? It can't be. Looks like you still haven't figured it out. No matter how hard you try to deceive or conceal the truth, you cannot pull the wool over the eyes of a real defense attorney. I still think this Iris that we're seeing in front of us, that's Dahlia. Like, something is weird about the way that she, like, doesn't know anything, right? Because it feels like it's Dahlia being, like, possessing? I don't even know. Like, is Dahlia alive? Is Dahlia not alive? Is Dahlia, like, possessing Iris? The bridge was already on the fire when the incident took place. That's right. The inner temple was already totally cut off from the outside world. There is no way you could have crossed the bridge, body or no body. Witness, even my patience has its limits. Any further line and I will find you in contempt of court. Do you have anything to say for yourself? The only person here that is truly contemptible is you. What did the judge do? Old man. Me? How dare you? Whether this witness lied or not doesn't mean squat right now. Squat? The important thing now is to find out the truth. Isn't that right? Oh, yeah, of course, but like... Whether it was snowing or not snowing, or whether the bridge was burning or not. There are two facts that can't be disputed. First, the body of Elise Donim was discovered in the Hazakura temple courtyard. And second, the head nun, Sister Bikini, witnessed the desecration of Elise Donim's body. Makes a good point on both accounts. That's right, I'm not lying. Why are you climbing this time? I wasn't myself at the night, so my memory is still somewhat hazy. You have stood at that witness stand and testified this entire time. Are you telling us now that your memory of that night is hazy? It is only human to err. If you're so perfect, right? Maybe you can explain this for a court. What is it? When the murder happened, the bridge has already burned down. With summer, the body traveled across the bridge and was found in the temple courtyard. Perhaps you have some kind of perfect explanation for this little magic trick. Well, not exactly, no. We've not found out anything. I didn't find like a string or something like that. I know there must be some other ways that you gotta cross that burned out bridge, but unless I can somehow demonstrate it, well, we'll never know the truth. It looks like the defense is not prepared to offer a suitable explanation. You see what I mean? In other words, you're in no position to suggest that this lady's testimony isn't the truth. What? I'm just pointing out the contradictions. Alright then, witness, let's hear your testimony once more. About what, Your Honor? You've admitted that you've moved the victim's body. Nevertheless, your prior testimony contains a rather large inconsistency. Please add an explanation for that to your testimony. Yes, Your Honor. Will this be her final testimony? I think so, considering the time. Moving as a body. other than walking over to the bridge, there was no other way to move the body, so I must have just gotten confused, I guess? Was the snow still falling or has it stopped? Does it really matter that much? Or are you saying that there is a way to cross a burning bridge? There is one? Oh, which is a misunderstanding, I see. This is a photo of Dusky Bridge after it burned down from the lightning blast. It was taken the morning after the incident. It certainly was burned to a crisp, and one of the suspension wires even snapped. It's amazing the whole bridge didn't fall. I don't think that's a suspension wire. I think that's like just one that keeps it from wobbling that much. Like left and right, you know? Oh, is that what a suspension wire would do? Maybe it would. Clearly it would be impossible to carry a corpse across a bridge in this condition. Oh, nice, I've got the photo. Unless I do something to discredit this testimony, it's going to be deemed to be true. And Maya will be accused of murder. Again. Funny how that happens 3 times. Right, I am only going to say this one more time. It is only human to err. And only humans can spot the errors of our ways. The more sense it makes, the less sense it makes. But alright then, Mr. Wright. Please begin your final course examination. Thank you. I will be doing my best. And I think the one that like we need to do is like on the final one we have to so like, look, how about flying over the bridge? You know, like a sensible person. Okay, but if the snow had already stopped when the incident took place, you could have crossed the bridge naturally. But I think it's just like Godot. Like Godot said, the body did not make it cross somehow. So I must have gotten confused, I guess. But you seem to be quite sure of yourself when you gave your testimony. You said you were sure the snow had already stopped. I'm terribly sorry, I was wrong. Does she really think an apology is going to get her off the hook? Was the snow still falling or had it stopped? Does it really matter that much? Yes. This is no joke, you're giving sworn testimony in a court of law. Well, Mr. Wright, let me ask you a question. Do you remember what the weather was like 1 week ago today? No, well, naturally it was... You see, it's not that easy to remember. We have testimony of it! We have data of it. But if it had been some kind of special day, I would have remembered. For example, it was pouring rain on the day of my elementary school graduation. No one wants to hear about your childhood traumas, right? What? How dare you? By the time the murder took place, the snow had already stopped. If you insist on obsessing over that one statement, let's see the proof. Show some evidence that the body somehow crossed the bridge while it was on fire. Saving, as I always do. Well, I don't see why there couldn't be a way across. Mr. Wright, don't you think that sounds a bit silly? What? A dead body crossing a burning bridge. Did anyone actually witness such a thing? Yes. Huh. If there was, I don't think you'd call someone like that a witness. After all, a dream isn't the same as actually seeing something. Come all this way, so I owe it to everyone to figure this out. But how did the transport a body across a burning bridge? I mean, if I don't know the exact answers yet, it's okay. I'll start by examining all of my evidence and then present it like this. Ba-da-bum, ba-da-bum. A dead body flying over a burning bridge. I wouldn't exactly rule out the possibility. Oh, what? You're saying it is possible. You're making me laugh. The only thing that's possible about your crime is that it's already been pulled out of thin air. I don't know about that. In any case, we have a witness who did see it happen. Preposterous. Who is it? Who is this witness? Can't chicken out here. I've got to keep on the attack. Go, go, go. Miss Elise Donim's brilliant and highly gifted apprentice, Loris Donim. Highly gifted? Apprentice? Remember what he said in his testimony. That night he was at the mountain shack, Heavenly Hall, and that's when he witnessed the event. I think you've all seen this sketch before. It's an exact drawing of what he witnessed that night. Are you serious? This is not April Fool's Day, is it? Mr. Wright, are you seriously claiming that the victim flew through the air? And you're using that pathetic scribble to support your argument? Uh-oh. It just looks like he's about to blow a gasket. Well tried. There is nowhere for you to hide now. Other than looking like it was drawn by a 6-year-old. What 6-year-old draws like this? I wanna see. This is really well drawn. Why is everyone like making a joke out of it? Why do they call it horrible sketch? It's beautiful. Does this sketch prove anything? Yes, I'm pretty sure it does, and I'm going to prove it. Listen, I know your tricks. You're trying to turn this whole thing upside down. Wait, it's upside down? It is upside down. Because the suspension wires are hooked on the bottom. And if you look over here, it's on the top. I think when Larry was seeing this, he was looking at it upside down. That's the image we keep seeing of him. Like, oh! Like he's like in the bed, like shocked and looking at something, right? But his head is upside down as well. You just solved this for me, Godot. Oh! If you're so eager to turn this case upside down, why not start with this sketch? Upside down? Why did Godot say that? Godot knew about it! Well then, let's hit the defense theory. What exactly is this sketch trying to show? I don't think old Whiskerface is going to forgive any more mistakes. Alright, Pheonix, look carefully and think it over. The sketch drawn by Loris Donim is exactly what happened. Of course the victim was flying. Okay. Whoosh. You know, you sound remind me of yesterday's witness. What, of Larry? That's the last thing I wanted to see. Do you have any evidence that the victim flew through the air? Just so you know, we haven't discovered the giant human catapult in the temple yet. I wish they had. Even if you're a lousy lawyer, at least you're 1 cup worth of entertainment. I think we should skip the penalty this time. Oh, there must be some way. Must be a way. Yeah, look at that. Show the truth of what happened. Yes, Your Honor. Oh, come on. Don't put me back down all the way over here. Complete contradiction? Something is obviously funny about this sketch. Hmm? Well, I'm no art critic, but even I can see it. No, that's not what I meant, Your Honor. Loris Donim stated it over and over again, that this sketch was exactly as he saw it. However, if we were to believe his testimony, then the sketch contradicts reality as we know it. It contradicts reality? This is getting interesting. It looks like you're back to that finger-pointing thing again. Okay, Trent, so what exactly contradicts reality as we know it? Is it the suspension? It's this wire connecting to the bridge. The wire? It's that thing that contradicts reality. Yeah, it is indeed. Then show us the reality it's supposed to contradict with. Show us something that will point out how the sketch contradicts reality. Well, the photo you just showed us. That's a photo of Dusky Bridge, correct? Yes. And now compare the sketch and the photo for a minute. In the sketch, the wires appear to be above the guard wires. But on the actual Dusky Bridge... Oh, jumping
Jehoshaphat.
The what? The wires are below the guard wires.
Push what? Order. This sketch is somewhat different to what's depicted in the photo. However, isn't it likely that the artist just saw it wrong?
Or perhaps he just drew it wrong. Either way, it just sounds like you're just wrong. No, I am right. With someone like Loris, I admit the mistake is a definite possibility. But then that begs the question. Why did he make a mistake? And what was the reason? Are you saying you know the reason, the answer to that? Listen, think back, alright. Let me save over here. Remember what Loris was doing when he witnessed the event. He was at Heavenly Hall, waiting for a lover that was never going to come. He waited and finally he laid down. But then, lightning shoots from the light and sets the bridge ablaze. Now ponder what sort of position Loris must have been in at the time. He was lying on his back, which is why I remember the scene the way he did.
He was lying on his back? I can't see how it relates.
But it does, Your Honor. This is the reason why the wires in the sketch go up instead of down.
Oh!
No way. Loris don't even witness the events while he was lying on his back, face up. In other words, the scene that he saw was actually upside down. Just like Godot just said.
So then, this sketch should actually be...
I think you finally get it, Your Honor. The correct way to view Loris Dunim's sketch is like this. This is how it should actually look. Oh, that's why the fire also goes like up and down the same way. The victim's body wasn't flying above the bridge, it was actually swinging below. That's right, just like a pendulum.
Ridiculous. Order.
Of all the things to say, a pendulum. The bridge was burning to a crisp. There was no way to get across it. But if the body had been found at the inner temple, it would have caused problems. And that is where the criminal decided to take a gamble. They used the burning bridge to get the body across to the other side. That's why that string is left. Oh, like Iris was on the other side waiting to capture the body, right? And someone put it on the other side, like, and left it swing across. Oh, sorry about that. And the pendulum was the only way to get it done. Let us think about this for a minute, shall we? The ski bridge is about 20 yards long, which means it's about that far from the inner temple to the opposite cliff. Yeah, that sounds about right. In order to cover that distance with the pendulum, you would need a rope at least 10 yards long. To get a rope that long, you'd have to plan ahead. No need, there was one. The lightning strike that night can only have been an accident. Yeah. So it doesn't make sense that culprit would have prepared the rope beforehand. So then, they didn't have to get the rope ready. The rope was already right in front of them. What? I'm saying that it was just a matter of using what was already there.
In that case, Mr. Wright, please give us an explanation to support your theory. What makes you think the criminal had the rope on hand to create a pendulum?
That's the bridge.
And the meaning of this is?
If you want to know where the rope came from, it's hanging right there in front of your glorious beard.
Oh, this is one of the wires from the bridge.
When the lightning struck the bridge and set it on fire, one of the suspension wires came loose from its anchor. The criminal didn't have any time to waste, and so they tied the wire around Elise Donim's body.
Whee!
Then we yeeted her body, because there was simply no other way to move the body. He drinks so dramatically, it's so funny.
Mr. Godot, Mr. Godot, okay, well, it seems that Mr. Godot is more focused on his coffee than answering my question. I think that the odds of the rope being readily available were very high. I suppose it's not an impossibility after all.
How is it still inside? Possible or impossible? That is not the question we need to ask. There is only one question. Did it really happen? Right, I wonder if you can prove what happened to us. Do you have any actual body that the body was swung over like a pendulum? Crystal sphere? Before I present my evidence, let me review what we know so far. According to this photo, one of the wires snapped. Looking at the map, we can see that it's the one that was in front of the inner temple.
Oh no, so then what was the spot with the criminal?
Yes, precisely. Now let us consider the body's movement by looking at the overhead map again. If the body was pushed from this point here, it would drop on the opposite bank at approximately this point.
Oh, did you say drop?
Well, they must have failed to catch the body on the other bank.
What?
What makes you think something like that happened? Because I have evidence that suggests that the body dropped some distance. What kind of evidence? Take a look at this autopsy report. It says here that her body fell about 10 feet after her death.
10 feet, huh?
That's most likely the height difference between the two sides. The body overswung due to the forward momentum and then came loose and fell about 10 feet. And then, as a result of the landing impact, this crystal sphere was knocked loose. Yes, this blood-stained amethyst crystal is the one that came off Miss Elise Donim's staff. And even more important is the place where this crystal sphere was found.
Oh, indeed, I believe it's already marked on this overhead map.
The crystal was found... Oh! Precisely, Your Honor. In this very spot where the pendulum would arrive if given the right amount of speed.
That explains your theory quite well, Mr. Wright. You have provided us with a way that the body could have been moved that night. Something just slapped me. Impressive deduction, Mr. Wright. Most impressive.
Oh no,
But Mr. Wright, why are you full of coffee?
I thought this cold coffee might help cool you down.
What is the meaning of this, Mr. Godot? We can't have you hurting the defense attorney.
There was a dark and bitter guess that you made, right? But you'll forget one thing.
Oh, and what would that be?
The aroma. The what? A coffee's most reliable accomplice is a deep and profound aroma. The rest of the court doesn't speak Coffeenese. Can you please elaborate a bit more? If the criminal had sent the body back to the other side like you said, then naturally there must have been an accomplice lying in wait to catch it.
An accomplice?
The criminal wasn't able to cross Dusky Bridge, so who collected the body? What do you have to say about that, Wright?
Mr. Godot is correct. This can't be the work of a single person. Well, Mr. Wright, you know what we must do?
Yes, Your Honor. The body couldn't have made it to Hazakura Temple without an accomplice.
Very well then, if you please, Mr. Wright. Who was the person that received the body on Hazakura Temple?
Well, it can only have been Iris. Can only be you, Sister Iris. Huh? Oh, but I don't see why you're so surprised. The only way to transport the body from the Dusky Bridge is by snowmobile. But with her bad back, Sister Bikini could never pick up a body like that. You're the only one that could have managed it. Tried. Were you even listening to the witness testimony? On the night of the crime, the little cutie pie was on clean-up duty in the inner temple garden after the mother-daughter bloodbath. I haven't forgotten, but have you, Mr. Godot? This witness was already seen at Hazakura Temple, desecrating the corpse of the victim.
Strange indeed. It's almost as if on that night, the defendant was in two different places at the same time.
Sister Iris, let me ask you something. Why didn't you mention it when you first gave your testimony? Mention what? The pendulum, of course. Using the sketch drawn by an eyewitness, I've established how the body was moved using the burnout bridge, which means it's now a fact that this occurred something you should have already known. No, I had no idea. I didn't know anything about the pendulum. But the body couldn't have been passed along to the other side without your help. So you should have known about it. In fact, it'd be impossible for you to be clueless about this whole thing. Unless you're not really Iris to begin with. What? How can you say that, Mr. Wright?
What? What kind of nonsense is this? You're saying this vision isn't Iris of Hazakura Temple?
Are you serious, right? You mean this woman is... Oh, finally going. There's no one besides Iris that could have received the corpse that night. Now I get it. Now I know why I've been sick to my stomach this entire trial. And why her whole demeanor changed so suddenly from yesterday. It is Dahlia. And why she's trying to pin this murder on Maya. The woman that's standing there at the window stand. Her real name is... I never thought I would have to utter your name again, let alone see you. It's been a long time. Dahlia Hawthorne.
Hawthorne?
Sister Iris has a twin sister. Or had a twin sister. And you're looking at her. Miss Dahlia Hawthorne.
That name rings some bells. Distant bells, but bells nonetheless.
It is just your imagination, Grams. This file contains all the relevant data about Dahlia Hawthorne.
Oh yes, I remember now. That case, 5 years ago. Oh, what a time.
My name is Dahlia Hawthorne. I just want to say it's an honor for me to be here in your noble presence. The honor is all mine.
Oh no, the honor is all mine.
I love how they're going back to this, like in like a showcase, like, oh, it has changed. No way, in no single way has he changed.
But according to this, Dahlia Hawthorne is already dead. It says her execution was carried out last month.
So what? That has no meaning in this courtroom.
What? That's the first time I hear about this. Order.
Wait a moment. How can you... my sister, she's already dead. What kind of... You of all people should already understand. After all, the blood of the master of the Karain channeling technique flows within that body.
The Karain channeling technique? Nowhere have I heard that.
That's right, you're not Dahlia Hawthorne herself. You're the spirit of Dahlia, currently inhabiting the body of a spirit medium. Is she inside Maya? What an exciting story. Exciting but quite impossible. You're asking us to provide that Dahlia Hawthorne just happened to be channeled by someone on the very night of the murder to a temple where her twin sister Iris was. Well, you're going to pin things that way then. Yeah. Doesn't sound that off to me. We're supposed to believe that coincidence like that just happens. Oh no, it wasn't. Naturally, it was no coincidence. The whole thing was part of a plan from the very beginning. It's all written right here in these instructions. What's that? These instructions were written by your mother, Morgan Fay. And part of the plan called for Dahlia Hawthorne to be channeled. That night, there were 2 irises at Hazakura Temple. 2 of them. Even the time of the channeling was planned out, as soon as you hear the lights out bell, in other words, 10 PM. However, Iris was never seen before dinner time.
That means the Iris that was at dinner was the real Iris.
Then the Iris who gave me this hood in the main hall was also the real Iris. Meaning that the Iris Sister Bikini saw in the temple was someone else dressed as her, namely one Dahlia Hawthorne. Do you even know what you're saying, right? This whole channeling the spirit of Dahlia Hawthorne business. Yes, it's true that you found plans that talk about it. However, there's one thing that's perfectly clear. The one that's currently standing in the stand is the real Iris. What? Calm down and remember what you know about the night of the crime. After a meeting, Sister Bikini and Dahlia Hawthorne had been channeled. Would have been standard in the temple due to the lightning strike. Well, Pearly was there, like... all night long. Maya was there too. It was later that the body was moved by pendulum. Yeah, that's right. Naturally, that would mean that the Iris that received the body was the real Iris. Are you with me so far? Yeah. After being notified about what happened, the police came to Hazakura Temple's main hall. And there they found Iris in her room and arrested her. And ever since then, she's been under police supervision at the detention center. Yeah, I suppose. I'll deny all of that. Whew, thank goodness. It looks like he's finally convinced. Something still seems off. Way off. I'm still not convinced that the Iris here is the same one as the other night. I suppose you're about to say something really ridiculous. Like the real Iris in the spirit of Dahlia. Someone switched places.
Switch places? To be perfectly honest, there are still quite a few things I don't understand, but I do know that unless we confirm the witness's identity, we can't continue with this trial.
Iris doesn't have the spiritual power needed to channel Dahlia, which means they must have switched places somewhere.
Well, Mr. Wright.
Sounds like a choice is coming up.
Since the time she was arrested at Hazakura Temple, have there been any chances for Iris to switch places with Dahlia Hawthorne?
There was one. Your Honor, I think there might have been one chance.
Oh, explain yourself.
Yesterday, for a few minutes, Iris' whereabouts were unknown.
Unknown?
What do you mean? What I mean is, there was a span of time in which Iris was able to move about freely, unsupervised.
Well, who was it? Who would give a murder suspect time to move around freely like that?
I'm sorry, I know you didn't mean to, it wasn't your fault. The person who gave Iris a chance to freely move about was my good old friend, Miles Edgeworth.
This is Mr. Edgeworth, isn't it?
Your Honor, there was a fairly large earthquake yesterday, was there not?
An earthquake? Oh, earthquake, oh my goodness. In the temple, this kind of tremor might...
Oh, good heaven. She fled. She escaped. We went to the inner temple right away, and there we found her. And it's true, Iris was already there. However, they had already switched places by that point in time. When I arrived at the training hall, I was met by none other than Dahlia Hawthorne.
That's quite enough already, Mr. Wright. Now see here. No judge in his right mind will consider the idea of spin challenging and...
Be quiet. Oh, there it is, Dahlia. It's been a long time, Mr. Judge.
What? That voice?
I guess I'll have to ask again. Upon meeting a beautiful lady, always ask for a name and profession. That is one of my rules. Dahlia Hawthorne, and my current profession, permanently retired. So you're not going to bother hiding your identity anymore, eh? Why should I? After all, I'm dead. There's really nothing you can do to punish me.
What is going on here?
Dahlia Hawthorne. I never thought we would meet again. I never thought we would meet like this. But this time, I'll end it. For her and for myself. To be continued. Oh! The next witness is Dahlia. Oh gosh, I'm pretty sure she's channeling Maya's body. Because while Pearly is able to like channel someone at will, most of the times that we've seen Maya get possessed was not by her own will. Like someone just like, oop, I'm taking your body now. Which mostly happened with like Mia, right? But I feel like Dahlia may be able to like take over Maya's body, and that's why like the cavern are empty. It might be like there are two things that I think may have happened, right? The first one being Maya was kept in the cavern so that Dahlia could capture her again, or possess her again, or something like that sort of way, right? And it was Iris that put the first lock in it. She then removed the one, switched places with Dahlia, or with Maya, that was Dahlia. Oh, with Dahlia, that was Maya. You know what I mean. And then they put more locks in it again, right? The 5 locks that are there currently is because of Dahlia that put them in. And Iris is currently in the cavern. I wonder if something's gonna happen to Iris. Well, considering what the being guilty does in this game, oftentimes you get executed. It's like, if you kill someone, you're gonna be killed, right? What else? Like, they switched. Then we had only Dahlia that we were always talking with. That's also the reason why Pearly could not channel Dahlia, was because Dahlia was already in Maya, which is also the reason why her hair is black, right? Because if it was brown, then I would have been like, oh, that's Pearly getting possessed. Because the hair doesn't change color, right? That's also the thing that we noticed. The hair stays the color of the person. Somehow it's just the body that like undergoes massive transformations. But yeah, because she has black hair, that can only mean that it's Maya that she's taking over. Which is kind of crazy. Oh. But like, I'm looking forward to the next 2 episodes. The next 2 parts. Where is this case going? I have no idea. Well, I have some like inkling of like a speculation. But what causes Pheonix demise like that? Because I know what happens to Pheonix afterwards, right? Like, that's been spoiled to me. Well, the way that he acts afterwards, right? Well, I'm really curious. It's gonna be fun. I think it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be a good... I hope it's gonna be a good ending. Because, like, if it's like another good ending, I'm gonna feel like a little bit annoyed. But the way that it's going, I think it's gonna be good. But anyway, thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed the episode. And as always, I hope to see you next time. Bye!